Hello and once again welcome to Lightning TV, brought to you in association with mjdphoto.biz. There was another doubleheader weekend for the guys as they faced a much improved Bracknell side at the Thunderdome on Saturday and away down at the Hive in Berkshire on Sunday. Now Bracknell have taken 4 wins from their first 6 games, including victories over Guildford and Basingstoke, because this was going to be a hard test for the Lightning side. On Saturday night the score was 4-2 for Lightning. They took the points, and after the game I caught up with a couple of the guys. So I'm here with Alex Mettam, Lightning netminder. Lightning coming out 4-2 winners and taking the points against Bracknell tonight. Bracknell much improved from last season.
Yeah, definitely. They changed their imports around and they've kept Lucas Smittle and Martin Massa, and they were key guys for them. I think we managed to shut those down pretty well tonight. I think Smith's only got 1 goal. But yeah, definitely they're a lot better team than last year, and we know we're going to have to work really hard against them again tomorrow night.
Well, they've taken points off both off Guildford and Basingstoke this season, and you know, they're no mugs, are they? Whereas last year they seemed to give up if they were on a losing streak, and this season tonight they just would not give up. They kept coming. Yeah,
you know, they had a massive comeback win last week, and we knew that going into the third period. So being up by 1 goal, we were really trying to be mentally strong there and really be positive and take the game to them. We managed to get the 4th goal there from Blas. That's a great finish, and really I think that then gave us the belief to really hold out and get a massive 2 points for us.
There seems to be a certain amount of belief. You just mentioned that word belief. There seemed to be a certain amount of belief generating right the way across the bench and in the dressing room. You know, they keep saying that this is the best Lightning side on paper for some time. Do you think that's the case?
Certainly, I think whilst I've been here, that's no disrespect to the guys that we played with the years before. It's a little bit different. Brought in, Chinny obviously, and he's got a wealth of experience that he really shares with the room, which is great, and I love playing with him. And yeah, it definitely looks like, I think when we get going, you can really see that when it all clicks, it's going to be something special.
Yeah, one thing that has changed as well this season, obviously, is the net-minding tandem, if you like. You've now got Stephen Wall alongside you. There's no secret. You've often said that you learnt an awful lot from Barry Holyhead over the years, and Waller's going to push you, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely is. But you know, we've known each other for a while as well, working together on goalie school. So it's good to have a friend alongside you, and obviously we're going to battle it out and obviously want to both play and win. But at the same time, when he's in the net, I want the team to win as well. So we work together and learn from each other, hopefully, and then as long as the team wins, that's the main thing.
Yeah, certainly. And talking about team, you know, going back to tonight's result, a good all-round team performance. Ross Bowers coming back after, 2 weeks after a knee operation.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe he's skating. So all credit to him, a deserved man of the match. A great performance, a great finish, and he just works really hard. And I think he made a great hit during, I think it was the first period as well. That really gives the team a boost. And you see a guy playing, 2 weeks after a knee surgery like that, you think, okay, well, I best work twice as hard tonight then.
Yeah, you just mentioned the hitting there as well, and it goes without saying that the defence, the same as last season, pretty much you're behind one of the meanest defences in the league goal-wise. But I've got to mention the forechecking tonight against Bracknell. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's team defence really. It starts with the forwards. If the puck's 200 foot away from me, they shouldn't really score from there. So it really starts with the forwards. Hassling their D-men, winning that puck back, and then like you say, those 5 D-men in front of me are without a doubt the best in the league. And it took a little bit while to get going. The first, the friendlies and stuff. Things weren't really clicking, but that's always going to happen with new guys coming in and just getting the system right. And then I think it showed last week we only gave up really 24 shots, I think, and then tonight it was only 20, maybe 27. So anything under 30 is a really good night. And is really it's a luxury for me, and I think Wally thinks the same, playing behind those 5 D-men.
Yeah, it certainly looks as though they certainly channel the shots down towards you where you can see them. Obviously, the old saying goes, if you can see it, you can save it.
Well, that's the idea. Hopefully, they keep them to the outside, keep them we protect the house, which is the scoring area right in front of the goal. Keep them to the sides, let me see it, and hopefully I stop the first one and let the guys deal with the rest. So that's the plan anyway.
Tough game tomorrow down the Hive in Berkshire. They're not going to give that result very easily, are they?
No, you want to win all your home games first and then start picking up points on the road. And I think after seeing how we played tonight, try and put that into a road game, a greasy road win. Nobody to impress down there. Get the first goal hopefully down there, and then really just try and grind it out.
Quite a big game coming next week. You want a bit of revenge after that Ashes defeat pre-season, don't you? Peterborough here at the Thunderdome, face-off 7 o'clock. That's going to be a toughie.
Definitely it is, yeah. Peterborough again, another side that's improved. The league's wide open, everyone's beating everyone this year, so I think it'll be the same plan as it was tonight. Work hard and try and grind out another massive 2 points against obviously local rivals Peterborough.
Brilliant. Well, Alex, great performance tonight. All the best on the road down at the Hive tomorrow. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.
That must be frustrating, sitting out a game like that.
Absolutely. I mean, as a player, the one thing you want to be doing is helping your team out, and the best way you can be helping your team out is on the ice. So sitting out games and watching games, especially when you know you could be making a difference, or doing something that might potentially help the team out in whatever way, is it's the worst thing for a player. No one likes to be sitting off the ice. So
tell me a bit about your injury. What's actually happened, and how long do you think you'll be out for?
I ended up twisting my wrist in the Guildford game, so unfortunately, with the NHS the way it is, they weren't particularly helpful in exactly what is wrong with me. But we've had a couple of guys look at us, but hopefully I'll be back next week. So it's a wrist injury. It's minor. So I was hoping to play this weekend, but it was decided that I shouldn't as a precautionary measure. But yeah, I'll be back next week.
I think they'll certainly be, the fans will certainly be glad to hear that, especially since we've got Peterborough here next week. That's going to be a feisty game.
You know what? I mean, every team comes to win, and they play with what they got. Peterborough, they've got a couple of guys. They don't mind mixing it up a little bit, but ultimately, we're going to be going after the points. So if whatever we do to win, we'll be doing it.
Excellent. I want to talk about, obviously you came to the team in the summer alongside Nick Chin coming from Basingstoke. How tough a decision was it to switch clubs?
I mean, when you've been playing at a club like Basingstoke, especially when they look after us, it's always been a tight-knit group. It's local to home. You're with a lot of good players, a lot of good friends. It's always a tough decision to leave. I've spoken to Nick now for the last couple of summers, and he's obviously expressed an interest in having myself here. So, you know what, with Mo leaving at Basingstoke and a little bit of uncertainty with what's going around, and knowing the team that was being put together in Milton Keynes, and as soon as I spoke to Nick and Vito, they rushed down to see us. So, when the guys show such a keen interest in you as well, and prepared to work the team around you and make the allowances that they need to get you on the team, it only says good things. There's always been such a low player turnover in Milton Keynes, and guys have friends in every single team that you play against, so it's more than just about being friends with the team as to why the guys stay. So it's always been an organisation that guys look at and think, there must be something good that's going on there. So I'm more than happy to be here.
Was there a little bit of nerves on your part? You've always been, when you've worn other shirts here, Guildford and Basingstoke shirts, for example, you've always got a bit of grief from the fans in that you've been a bit of a pantomime villain, if you like. Was there any nerves coming here, wondering what the fans were going to think?
Not so much the fans, to be honest, because I mean, if you're getting booed and hissed and people are calling you a donkey or whatever they want to, something hopefully a little bit more original, because that's getting a little bit old now. You know what? You're doing your job, and if the fans are noticing you're doing the job, then the other team's knowing you're doing your job, and the team you're playing for knows that you're doing your job as well. So, for me, the biggest concern was coming into such a tight-knit group and knowing the guys that you are replacing, and not wanting there to be any friction for effectively making one of their guys' mates lose their job. So
I don't think there's any of that. I mean, everybody was very, very gracious about all of the chopping and changing. And you certainly, yourself, Chinny and Steve all seem to have just slotted into what was an already good unit.
Absolutely. I mean, the core of the team was always there. It's always been a good team. There's been contention from Milton Keynes every single season. And I'd like to think that what ourselves as individuals, when put into the team formula, does make that improvement. I know Nick and Vito and Harry all believe so. So we can only do our best as regards to that.
One thing you and Nick Chin seem to have added onto that line three, not taking away anything from the guys that were here before, is you've added that little bit of, from a size point of view, that added bit of physicality, which we saw in the last couple of weeks. Obviously Graham McPherson, yourself, you get stuck in. You'll certainly grind. You'll get in there and grind.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the biggest skill I have is being 6'5", and it doesn't matter how much a guy wants to grow. That's not something you can learn. You can always learn to skate. You can always learn to stick handle. So you've got to use the skills that you've been blessed with.
But you're not just here as a grinder, are you? Because you can play a bit as well.
I'd like to think so. I'm sure there's not so many people that believe it, but we'll see how the season goes, and hopefully I'll prove those doubters wrong.
Going back onto this side, how good is this Lightning side? Can you go all the way this year?
I mean, I think we've proven with some of the results that we've had already that we show we can play hockey, and you know, however you want to play the game, we can match you at it and we can better it. It's still early doors. Obviously, we've had a couple of defeats, you know, in a way that we, you know, really shouldn't be losing. But it's early doors. We're gonna sort that out, and hopefully we bring home some silverware.
Well, Chris, thanks very much for speaking to us. I know it was tough sitting on the bench or standing on the bench and just watching when you want to get involved. Hopefully see you back next week. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.
So many thanks to the guys for talking to us as normal. Let's check out the weekend's results and see how that affects the league positions. So as well as the Lightning versus Bracknell game, there were 3 other games in the league on Saturday. An in-form and buoyant Swindon side demolished Guildford 6-2, having beaten high-flying Basingstoke in a midweek fixture a couple of nights before. Slough ran out 4-2 winners at home to Peterborough, while Sheffield Steel Dogs beat Telford by a score of 3-1. On to Sunday night, and the return game between Lightning and Bees down at the Hive turned out to be just as tight as the night before, with Lightning making it a 4-point weekend with a 4-3 win. The big talking points there being a disallowed goal and an offside call to foil Bracknell. Guildford and Sheffield fought out a tense battle at the Spectrum, with the Yorkshire outfit taking the points after an overtime win to take the game 5-4. And it was just as tense in Manchester as the Phoenix beat the Flames in overtime 2-1. In Peterborough, it was a scrappy Bison team that took away the points 2-1 after they scored in the final minute to ensure that the Breton side had another point this weekend. That was small consolation, however, for Basingstoke, as their bus broke down on the way back to Hampshire, which meant a long night for the team. So after all that, let's have a look at the table, and it's Basingstoke who head the league a point clear of Manchester thanks to that last minute goal at Peterborough. Guildford and Slough tie on 9 points after a weekend to forget for the Surrey side. Then it's Lightning, Bracknell, Sheffield and Swindon on 8 points, with Peterborough 5 points adrift in 9th place ahead of the pointless Tigers. So that's still all to play for at this stage in the season, and you can't help but feel that some of those league placings will change substantially as the season progresses. November, of course, is Lightning's charity month, and this year we'll be raising money for Kidney Research UK. Now, in the past year, the fans have dug deep and raised amazing amounts of money for cancer research, Help for Heroes, and of course the British Heart Foundation. Now, all you need to do, if you want to sponsor a home or away shirt this November, it will cost you £150, and all you need to do, if you're interested, is email on the screen dave@b2promodesign.com. It's as simple as that. Also in the news this week is the fact that Nando's in the Hub are sponsoring the Home Man of the Match Awards. Now, they'll be giving away deals as we go throughout the season. To find out more, just go to the official Lightning website or follow the Lightning Twitter feed @MKLOfficial. Now, next Saturday's visitors to the Thunderdome are Peterborough Phantoms. Now, Lightning are going to want some revenge after that Ashes defeat pre-season, of course. Face-off is 7 o'clock. If you want to get a discount on your tickets, make sure you get them before Friday. For more information, go to the Lightning website, mk-lightning.com. We have a Twitter feed. If you want to follow us on Twitter during the week, all you need to do is tap in @Lightning TV. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you next week.